of blessing and abundance for your people. We ask that you would work mightily in us today. Come upon us and cause us to have a productive meeting. Lead each one of us so that we can make fruitful contributions at this time. Enable us to think and strategize in ways that will achieve great results. Purify our thoughts and motives so that each one of us will enter this meeting desiring the good of others and the pleasures of your name. Amen. Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Doug Brown.
Here.
David Bryant.
Here.
Steve Georgiades.
Present.
Kathy Driscoll.
Here.
Randy Mitchelson.
Here.
Jim Olive.
Here.
Chris Bolte.
Here.
Jeremy Wilson. Absent.
All of them are present except for Jeremy Wilson, who is at the hospital going to have a baby.
His wife is not here.
Tonight we honor two groups of students. The first one I'm going to honor is the IPA Student Leadership Award. This award goes to a student at each school, which would be North, Memorial, the junior high, and the high school. First one is from North School. When choosing a student that stands out for leadership, no matter who you ask at our school, the answer would be the same: Kendall Henry. Kendall displays such a unique and mature leadership style. She leads others with love and kindness. She is thoughtful with her words and actions and ensures that students are included and valued. She does not have to tell others what to do. Instead, they follow her by her actions. She constantly displays qualities of an outstanding leader, which inspires students to follow in her example. She is a humble leader, never asking for credit or recognition of her positive choices. She truly is an inspiration to all. Let's give Kendall Henry a round of applause. I'll read all of these. I will give them their certificates. So the next one is Gwen Shapiro. The nominations for Gwen stated: Gwen displays leadership and dedication within the Memorial Elementary community. She is a great role model for all fourth grade students. She displays a great attitude every single day. She is very respectful to teachers and other students and never fails to use proper manners. She will always help students who are struggling and able to bring a smile to their faces. She strives to resolve conflicts among students. Academically, she puts in over 100% effort in every assignment, test, or project she completes. She takes initiative in group projects and demonstrates responsibility in classroom activities. Gwen is a true depiction of what it means to be a leader. She really shines her light to make others feel happy without even knowing it. Students admired Gwen because of her leadership characteristics like responsibility, respectfulness, and kindness. And Gwen steps in whenever anyone needs help. She's a great role model to all students throughout the entire school. Let's give Gwen Shapiro a round of applause. The next one is from the junior high, and her name is Madison Cratchit. Her nomination stated: Madison represents the very best of our student body. She is kind and takes the time to encourage her peers and engage in meaningful ways with both students and staff. She is active in many organizations and is a leader in our student council, Scholastic Bowl team, band, TJHS student library assistant, and involved in community activities. Madison assists on the Mount Auburn Community Picnic Board and just enjoys doing things for other people. Thank you for the opportunity to recognize this outstanding young leader. Madison Cratchit is Jesse Sloan is being honored by the Illinois Principals Association. His nomination reads: Jesse is an outstanding representative of Taylorville Senior High School. He is an excellent student and a great role model for others. Jesse's contributions to THS, from his academic efforts to his involvement in various activities, or ideal qualities of the Taylorville tornado. So let's give Jesse a round of applause. And if they don't all come forward, I'll have a certificate of appreciation. Kendall Hennings. Demonstrate, in addition to a great deal of natural ability, an outstanding spirit of knowledge, dedication, enthusiasm, and hard work. And whereas Gwen Shapiro, Kendall Hennings, Ms. Cratcham, and Jesse Sloan are being honored for their leadership from the Taylorville schools, now therefore I, Bruce Berry, Mayor of the City of Taylorville, do hereby proclaim May 6, 2024 as your day. Congratulations. Get a picture here. Fadia, Leroy, go right ahead. Walk up here and shake all the old I'd also like tonight to honor the Taylorville Junior High Scholastic Bowl team that won the regional for the first time in school history. And if I read their name and you guys will stand up and continue to stand: Madison Cratcham, Ethan Garrett, Addison Cottingham, Tanner Marlowe, Madeline Likes, Adam Cunnington, Landry Salmon, Drew Williams, and Henry McGath. These students have worked incredibly hard throughout the year. A few of them are returning members of the Scholastic Bowl team from last year. They attend practices, learn new concepts and techniques, and work hard to be team players and supported each other. Scholastic Bowl is a long season, but these kids stuck with it and were very excited and motivated going into the IESA AA regional tournament. There were 6 teams that competed in the regional: Taylorville, Piasol Southwestern, Girard, North Mac, Auburn Junior High School, Divernon, Gillespie, and Carlinville. There were 2 pools with the winner of each advancing to the regional championship. To win a match, a team must reach 300 points. Taylorville first beat Girard North Mac 300-65. Their matches with Auburn was very tight, with being tied 250 to 250. When they ran out of questions, this normally means the match is over, but since it was tied, they had to look up the official rule book and found the first team to answer 2 toss-up questions correctly would win the match. It was incredibly intense, but Taylorville secured the win by answering 2 toss-up questions correctly. The team then competed against Carlinville for the regional championship match, with the match score winning of 300 to 195. This was the first time that the junior high Scholastic Bowl team had ever won the regional. The team went on to competing in the sectional, winning their first match against Jacksonville. The team fell to Springfield Lincoln Magnet and Springfield Franklin. And TJHS Scholastic Bowl team is coached by Jessica Reaver, so please stand. Come forward, I have a little appreciation. Well, the TJHS Scholastic Bowl team has shown, in addition to a great deal of natural ability, an outstanding spirit of knowledge, dedication, enthusiasm, and hard work. And now,
The TJHS Scholastic Bowl team is being honored for becoming the IESA AA Regional Champions. Now, therefore, I, Bruce Berry, Mayor of the City of Taylorville, do hereby proclaim tomorrow, May 7th, 2024, as TJHS Scholastic Bowl Team Day. Congratulations. I have cake in my conference room for all the teams, so if you guys want to go to dinner, you're welcome to come to the meeting, but looks like everybody's here for the Scholastic Bowl.
Thank you.
Everyone want to play?
Want to stay either? I tried it. You can film me later. Might be a short conversation.
Motion to approve the omnibus vote resolution. Motion by Alderman Bryant, second. Alderman Brown, questions or comments? Roll call.
Megan Bryant? Yes. Steve Dorsones?
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll?
Yes.
Randy Mitchelson?
Yes.
Jim Olive?
Yes.
Chris Teddy?
Yes.
Doug Brown?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Minutes of the regular meeting held April 15th, 2024. Minutes of the finance committee meeting held April 18th, 2024. Minutes of the ordinance committee meeting held April 18th, 2024. Minutes of the street and sewer committee meeting held April 25th, 2024. Minutes of the public facilities committee meeting held April 25th, 2024. Minutes of the emergency services committee meeting held May 2nd, 2024. Minutes of the personnel committee meeting held May 2nd, 2024. Motion to approve the minutes. Alderman Driscoll, second.
Second.
Alderman Brown, questions or comments? Roll call.
Steve Dorsones?
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll?
Yes.
Randy Mitchelson?
Yes.
Jim Olive?
Yes.
Chris Teddy?
Yes.
Doug Brown?
Yes.
Megan Bryant? Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Tonight, we're gonna hear from Ted Bailey, our energy consultant. Ted, you want to stand up?
All right, so I'm here tonight, basically just to give you guys a market update on what's going on with your upcoming renewal in November for your electricity. So I'm gonna go over a couple of charts with you here real quick, and then we'll kind of get into the 2 pages that you guys have, and then I'm here to answer any and all questions that you've got. Okay? So first and foremost, I'll pass this around here in just a second. Kind of walk you through this a little bit. So this is a chart. I'll get this over to you guys in just a second. If you take a look at this, I've got some lines drawn on here. This kind of shows that all of the pricing is going up and to the right. So prices are on an upward trend. So the pricing that we did with the city back 3 years ago almost, we were at 4.99 cents per kilowatt hour. We are up significantly higher than that, which we'll go through and stuff in just a second. But as far as the market's going, if anybody's been to the grocery store, anyone took these rates, I mean, anything that you do anymore is much higher than it was a couple of years ago. Electricity is no different. One of the biggest components that they've got on that's making these prices go a little bit higher is all of these suppliers who supply people with electricity are now embedded and mandated that they have to have renewables as their electricity portion. So that's wind, that's hydro, that's solar. They have mandates for the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years out from now that is going to take over what they normally use just for burning coal, burning for natural gas. It's going to be a lot more renewables. The renewables are going to be more expensive. So the first question normally that they ask is, when is pricing going to be coming down? That's a great question. There's not a lot of stuff that's out there in the market details that kind of show you that prices are coming down. So I'll let you guys kind of look at this and pass this around the next one. This one will basically show you that as of right now, the price for natural gas is incredibly low. So that's the good part. The other part is though, is again, everything that goes to make up the rest of that electricity bill, everything else has increased. So when you look on these, as this goes around, you'll see there's only two little spots there where the red portion shows how much lower your price could go down. The black portion on there can see how much increase that these prices could go. So that's kind of where we're at right now, which is the good news, is that natural gas is considerably lower than it usually is. We had one of the warmest winters on record. Everybody was here for this. We're going to have one of the warmest summers on record as well. So that means we're going to have higher demand. That means everyone's going to be running the AC. So we are going to see increases in this as well. We are sending liquefied natural gas over to pretty much everywhere in the globe right now. There's 3 wars going on, and we are taking care of them with our natural gas. So the more you ship away from the country, the less we have, the more the prices are going. Okay? This is a graph that you'll see to kind of look through these a little bit. Natural gas is the main fuel provider to generate electricity right now. Most of the coal plants throughout the state of Illinois and in this MISO region that we are in have pretty much started to close their doors. I drive from Auburn. The kid to the left. I'm actually from Auburn. I drive past Kincaid. I see the coal fire plants that they got. Most of these in the state of Illinois, I think there's only 4 of them left anymore that burn coal. Everything else is either gas or the northern part of this is a nuclear plant. But they do use most of natural gas to do this. The other trend that you'll see down here on the bottom is most of the wind and solar. It's just an even stretch though. There is no spike to it. So it would be like if you had something you really didn't want to do and you put it off for 5 years, that's what's happening here. These suppliers do not want to do this just yet, and you can see in these graphs that they're not getting that out there, and there is no increase to do these renewables that they're asking for. Okay? Questions on any of that part? Good? All right. So what I just passed out to you a second ago, one of the first things I wanted to show you is this was just one of the accounts that you guys have on file right now. When we signed this one up back in, started back in, let's see here. Yeah, 2024 is our end date. When we started the prices here, it was 4.99 cents per kilowatt hour. If you look at the one that I just put there on the front there is a change in law provision that actually increased the price of what the city is paying for their electricity right now. So you locked in a portion of that, but due to a change in law provision that's in these contracts, they have bumped at least once. I tried to find out today if there was the second one, but I think it only looks like they have bumped the price on that for once time around. So that is the provision that they've got in some of these contracts. Some suppliers don't have that. If you guys have a fixed price, which most of these suppliers used to, they've got away from that a little bit, and now they've got this change in law provision. So if there's a hit in one of those components that make up that price, they can actually pass that on to the client. Okay? Second page.
Can I ask a question? What are the hits that trigger that? What?
They're capacity charges. So capacity is what it's a premium that everyone pays to make sure that they've got generators on standby in the event that they need them. So that capacity charge, especially in this MISO region that we're in, there's a lot of flexibility. Some suppliers don't even include it anymore. They just pass that one component through to the customer. It's not locked in, it's not fixed, it does change every 30 days, and they just pass that along to you. Sometimes it drops, sometimes it's up, but it's not locked in. Good question though. Okay, so let's go through the pricing here real quick. And again, I got it highlighted in green. Constellation is the largest supplier in the country. They've got probably about 52 to 53% of the market share. They are the only supplier that is left that will lock in all of the pricing components. So there's no surprises, there's no difference. So if you do a 12, 18, 24, 36-month term, whatever you decide to go with again, they will lock in all of the pricing components. So nothing will change on that like the one that we've got right now. So Constellation across the board, all 5 terms that we've got there, all 5 terms are the lowest ones across the board. Dynegy is the parent company for Homefield. There's no confusion there. Your current contract is with Homefield. But Dynegy is the parent company, and that's the name that they're going by now. Questions? So quiet. So your contract does not come due until November. We're getting ready to get into the summer months. And normally once you get into the 2nd, 3rd week in May through the summer, we probably wouldn't see any leveling or just a mild increase, probably in October and November. I would not recommend waiting that late. More than likely, I would say within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we have closed contracts for 4 municipalities in the area, and it's all for the same reason. These prices are continuing to go up. The demand's going to be crazy for the summer, and there's not going to be any reprieve before we get to your renewal in November. So your price will remain the same right now until your contract expires. So if we decide to do something the next couple of weeks, that won't start until the other one expires in November of this year. Well, it's the quietest group I've ever been in.
With you being our consultant, we're gonna really depend on your opinion. Should we sign up for the 12 months or should we do the 14 months?
I wouldn't go out that far.
And what did we do last time? 3 years?
You did a 36-month term. Yep. I would not go out that far for 2 reasons. Donald Trump, Joe Biden. So whoever is going to be in office, it's going to take probably a good 18 to 24 months to reverse what's going on. If Joe Biden gets reelected, it's going to be worse than what it is right now. So he's trying to get everything renewable. They're not trying to have anything else for any other options. So if he does stay in office, we will see prices increase dramatically. If Trump gets in there, it's going to take a good 18 to 24 months to even try to reverse this. So I wouldn't go out probably any further than an 18-month contract, to be honest with you. 12-month or the 18th would be the 2. Once you start getting out further than that, that's still quite a bit of time to make a decision on what we need to do. So we can do the same thing. If you got 18 months left on an agreement, we can get out in front of that as well. Those would be my recommendations. I would not even think about going out 48 months. There's just so much other stuff going on. Could be in our favor. So that's why we don't want to get that far.
Any questions? So I'm taking your recommendation that us to probably sign up for the 18th month with Constellation.
Okay.
At .078.
Okay.
Correct?
So what we're going to do now is, since the markets are closed today at 5 o'clock, I can get you another price increase in the morning. It could be up a little bit, it could be down a little bit, but there will be some change in that price based on the market close already.
Okay.
And then we can get that sent over. If you guys want to sign off on that, we can take care of that as early as tomorrow.
And this is just for our facilities ourselves, for our city facilities. Doesn't matter to the home. No. You can't make a motion until the next meeting.
That's fine.
Correct, so it'll be the 20th. And so can you give me the up-to-date price on May 20th?
Absolutely.
And we will, do it then. All right?
All right, buddy. Thank you for
Thank
your
you
time.
very much.
Appreciate it.
Okay. An ordinance approving and authorizing the sale of personal property owned by the City of Taylorville, 2001 Danko International 2,000-gallon tanker truck. Motion by Alderman Bryant, second. Alderman Brown, questions or comments? Roll call.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Randy Mitchelson.
Yes.
Jim Wallace.
Yes.
Driscoll Teddy.
Yes.
Jim Brown.
Yes.
Megan Bryan.
Yes.
Steve Dorchenez.
Yes.
And Mayor Barry
Mayor
votes
Barry.
yes. Motion carries 8-0. Ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a business development district number 1 redevelopment agreement by and between the City of Taylorville, Illinois and Heartland Development Partners Incorporated, 109 South Washington Street. Motion by
So moved.
Alderman Bryant, second.
Second.
Alderman Dorchenez, questions or comments? Roll call.
Jim Olive,
Yes.
Chris Popetti,
Yes.
Doug Brown,
Yes.
Megan Bryant,
Yes.
Steve Dorchenez,
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll,
Yes.
Randy Mitchelson,
Yes.
Mayor Barry,
Yes. Motion carries 8-0. Ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a BDD District Number 1 redevelopment agreement by and between the City of Taylorville, Illinois and Heartland Development Partners Incorporated, 201 West Main Cross Street. Motion by
So moved.
Alderman Dorchenez, second.
Second.
Alderman Brown, questions or comments? Roll call.
Chris Popetti,
Yes.
Doug Brown,
Yes.
Megan Bryant,
Yes.
Steve Dorchenez,
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll,
Yes.
Randy Mitchelson,
Yes.
Jim Olive,
Yes.
Mayor Barry.
Yes, motion carries 8-0. Resolution approving and authorizing the execution of easement agreement, ETC, Springfield Road, Route 29, water main replacement project. Motion,
So moved.
Alderman Bryant, second. Alderman Brown, questions or comments? Roll call.
Doug Brown,
Yes.
Megan Bryant,
Yes.
Steve Dorchenez,
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll,
Yes.
Randy Mitchelson,
Yes.
Jim Olive,
Yes.
Chris Popetti,
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Resolution approving and authorizing the invoice cloud biller agreement. Motion by,
So moved.
Mayor,
pardon?
may I speak to that for a
Yes,
moment?
sir, Rocky.
I would recommend that you table that resolution this
Okay.
evening. I sent everyone an email. I talked to Marlon about this, on this agreement. He asked me to review it. I think you all got a highlighted, red, and yellow copy of a number of things. It's all one-sided in favor of this other company. Marlon suggests that this is a new company on the block. They may be willing to negotiate. One of the things that concerned me, I think, if it works for the city, is that there was no provision in there that would protect the city about hacking your customers' identities or the credit card accounts, debit card accounts. The agreement puts all the burden on you folks and not on their system if they make a mistake. Their agreement basically says we're not going to be liable for anything. If you sue us, our maximum liability on one thing is $10, and on another situation, it's no more than what you pay them on fees for 12 months. I think there's a lot that we can try to negotiate, so I would suggest we table this till the next meeting. Perhaps you and I and Marlon can get hold of these folks and see if we can get a more favorable term for the city. Would be my thought.
Motion to table.
So moved.
Alderman Driscoll, second.
Second.
Alderman Dorchenez, questions or comments? Roll call.
Megan Bryant,
Yes.
Steve Dorchenez,
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll,
Yes.
Randy Mitchelson,
Yes.
Jim Olive,
Yes.
Chris Popetti,
Yes.
Doug Brown.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0 to table. Motion to approve the special events permit regarding the bags tournament at Cork and Peg on May 26, 2024. Motion by Alderman Skoltedi, second.
Second.
Alderman Olive, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Motion to approve the special events permit regarding the Taylorville Black Horse Powwow to collect donations at Main Cross and Webster Street on May 24th and 25th, 2024. Motion? Alderman Skoltedi, second.
Second.
Alderman Brown, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. City Attorney update.
I've sent the council numerous emails since our last meeting. I've got nothing further to report other than what I put in those emails, unless anyone has a question about those. If not, that'll conclude my report.
Well, thank you, Rocky. Very quick. Mayoral report. Thank you to downtowntaylorville.org for the first car show last Friday evening. I believe things went well, and I heard all kinds of good comments on continuing the car shows. Thank you to the Booter family for donating the money for the new dog park out at Manners Park. It was a great addition to our community. Thank you to all the Little Leaguers for participating in the parade last Saturday. The parade was a great kickoff to another Red Line Little League season. If we got time, I'll tell you some Little League stories.
No time, Mayor.
Okay. This weekend, there will be a community-wide rummage sale. Thank you to the organizers of this. The following Saturday is the city cleanup day. The dumpsters will be available at the street department for dropping off all your unwanted stuff. And if aldermen will give me a list of addresses of properties in their wards that need mowed, Andy and I will address the issue as soon as we get that list. So we've been going around looking at some, but we might have missed a few. So anyone's got any yards that they need mowed, let us know. Thank you. Committee reports, discussion and/or motions to approve, adopt, and/or deny, and/or table, and/or amend, and/or refer to an appropriate committee in whole or in part the matters regarding the following subject matters discussed at the committee level. Finance Committee, Alderman Mitchelson.
We have a motion to recommend the City Council and direct the mayor to sign the indemnification and hold harmless agreement with Hathaway Homes Phase 2 Limited Partnership in the Hathaway Homes Project. I'll make that a motion.
Motion by Alderman Mitchelson, second. Alderman Skoltedi, questions or comments? Roll call.
Megan Bryant?
Yes.
Steve Dorchenez?
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll?
Yes.
Randy Mitchelson?
Yes.
Jim Olive?
Yes.
Chris Skoltedi?
Yes.
Doug Brown?
Motion carries 7-0.
The next motion is a recommendation to discontinue payment of small town Taylorville, except for the 3% quarterly payment to the Taylorville Main Street, which is downtown. That is the portion that comes from the hotel motel tax that has been obligated until October of this coming year. I'm sorry about my voice. I lost my voice a month ago and I'm still getting it back, so I hope that everyone can hear me. I do have comments that I would like to read before making my motion. There's been considerable discussion surrounding a motion that was made during the April 18th Finance Committee meeting. I want to clear up some misunderstandings and misinformation regarding this motion. Due to circumstances at the time, I recommended that a motion be made to defund small town, downtown, except for the 3% of the 5% hotel motel tax through October that was already agreed upon by a previous city council. A similar motion was made and seconded, and it passed the committee 3-0 with 1 abstention. I further said during the discussion that the small town committee returned with a request of a much smaller budget, changes to their mission, that the city would possibly reconsider that request. Now to today. After many discussions, hours and hours of discussions, surrounding Fertilove being a part of the overall umbrella of the Main Street organization, and whether or not public funds were used to create the business that is in competition with other businesses, it has been settled to my satisfaction that no direct public tax money was used to create Fertilove. To the best of my knowledge and information that I have received, Fertilove is completely independent of small town, and the public funds to small town have not and will not be used in operation of Fertilove. I'll have an additional comment about that in a moment. The usage of public funds by small town for advertising being called in question is a separate matter. And I believe other members of the City Council have reservations about the large amount of dollars being spent on advertising to support some businesses in Taylorville and not others. It is thought that the generalized advertising of Taylorville businesses and amenities might be a better choice. But once again, the council has little control over the money that we give. What we can do is suggest a new direction for ads and a different mission. If the council believes the money is being unused wisely, the council can simply not fund the committee. So you understand, we don't control the committee, we don't have votes on the committee. The only hammer we have over them is the funds that we give them, which are taxpayers' dollars. There remains a significant problem. Anonymous information was received by the council about possible wrongdoing relating to the creation of Fertilove. As I mentioned earlier, the fiscal issue has been settled to my satisfaction. Unfortunately, during the questioning and investigation by members of the council, the owners of Fertilove and the chairman of the small downtown committee, being the same person, became upset with certain council members acting...
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
I don't know. Me or that? You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh,
I apologize.
That's okay. They were upset that members of the council were acting without proper authority. 2 separate letters were sent to the city attorney and the mayor, who then dispersed to the city council with comments and threats to sue the alderman and the city if it continued. Well, the investigation did continue, and in my opinion, rightfully so. That's one of the ways we got to figuring out that no funds were being misused from small town, no public funds. Aldermen and other city officials are elected to spend taxpayers' money wisely. In addition, they have the duty to make sure that those funds are being correctly used by those who receive funds. Considering the threats to sue the city and individual aldermen, I've asked that Steve Craig step down from the board. I asked him directly. I do not believe that the city council can effectively work with a person who is accepting funds on behalf of a city-financed organization and at the same time threatening to sue us. Now, I was going to make a motion to do just what I said at the committee hearing. Instead, I'm going to ask to table that. And the reason is, well, for one thing, we don't have all the aldermen here, and I believe that all the aldermen should be voting on this. I think it's a very important issue. We've had discussions with numerous people in the community who have different ideas about the way these funds should be handled and who should be handling them. We've had people propose a tourism committee made up of people from the city, people from the Chamber of Commerce, people from various businesses and other entities. We've had suggestions to move it all to the Chamber of Commerce, directing our dollars not to be used for funding their other operations, but only towards advertising. And we've also had suggestions that any funds that we may in the future give to a small town will have stipulations tied to them on to how those funds are to be spent. The question came up with the last budget we saw was $80,000, 50 of it going directly to Facebook type advertising. We in the committee felt that this was an inappropriate amount to be spending on Facebook. So there are a lot of things that we want to look at. We've got lots of places in this community that we need to spend money. We're going to be redoing the downtown, which is going to cost the city a couple of $1 million out of the $5.5 million. We're getting a grant for part of it, but we're going to have to come up with a couple $1 million. We're wanting to redo some streets that are in desperate need of being redone. Can't hardly drive on some of the streets in this town. And we have other issues that are coming up. The lake renovation is a major one that will be in the millions, multiple millions of dollars. We need to start putting money aside for all these projects, and unwisely spending $100,000 is not, in my idea, something we should do. So that's my comments. I'm going to make a motion to table until we can try to work out some of the issues that are still unresolved. One of them is that Furlove must prove to me, which I have not seen yet, that they have their own EIN, employee identification number, and they must prove to me that they have applied for or have received their charitable entity authorization. They've been operating underneath the charitable operation and the EIN of Main Street, excuse me. There's all these groups get run together. We've got Main Street was the original organization, then there was downtown, and now there's small town. So it's quite confusing. In addition to that, underneath that umbrella, there's the Veterans Memorial, which is operated very independently and has been very successful. And then, of course, Furlove has been underneath that. So we're insisting that those be separated. They are operating in a manner that is competitive to other businesses in Taylorville, and they should be on their own and not be underneath another umbrella. So those are issues that we need to work out. We're going to have a finance committee meeting on the 15th or 18th? 15th. On the 15th, Thursday night, we'll be rediscussing these issues again. So at this point, I'm going to make a motion that we table.
And it's 16th.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I apologize.
Okay, I'm sorry. I should have that.
15th, my wedding anniversary.
Well, you got that in mind, I know.
So do I hear a motion to table?
No, I'm making a motion to
Okay.
table here.
Okay.
Second.
Motion second by Alderman Skoltedi. Roll call.
Randy Mitchelson?
Yes.
Jim Olive?
Yes.
Chris Skoltedi?
Yes.
Doug Brown?
Yes.
Megan Bryant?
No.
Kathy Driscoll?
Yes, with comment.
No comments after table.
And Randy
Steve.
Steve Dorchenez?
No.
Motion carries 5-2. We tabled the action. Okay. Street and Sewer Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll get that for the Department Day. Motion to recommend to the city council to approve citywide dumpster day for May 18, 2024. I'll make that in the form of a motion.
Motion by Alderman Brown, second.
Second.
Alderman Olive, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Public facilities, Alderman Olive.
Mr. Mayor, we're gonna table this because there's another charge to come in. I was notified today by, Jim from Penn and Associates.
Okay. So,
Table it.
Motion to table it.
Yes.
Okay, is there a second? Table the first motion.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Skoltedi to table, roll call.
Doug Brown?
Yes.
Megan Bryant?
Yes.
Steve Dorchenez?
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll?
Yes.
Randy Mitchelson? Jim Olive?
Yes.
Chris Skoltedi?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0 to table. Go ahead.
Jen.
Well,
Yeah.
the last one was first.
Yeah. Motion to recommend to the city council to authorize approval bid of the motor fuel tax.
Motion by Alderman Olive, second.
Second.
Alderman Driscoll, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Personnel Committee, Alderman Bryant.
Thank you. First is a motion to recommend to the city council to bid and or advertise the working foreman position for the lake department.
Motion by Alderman Bryant, second. Alderman Mitchelson, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Next is a motion to recommend to the city council to bid and or advertise an equipment operator position for the lake department.
Motion by Alderman Bryant, second. Alderman Brown, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The next motion to recommend the city council to approve bids for the Poplar Street properties. We have not received the bids. We just got them out, I think. We'll receive them at the May 20th meeting. So next is a motion to approve or ratify payment of bills of $296,454.90.
Having having reviewed these bills, I make a motion that we approve the payment of the bills.
Motion by Alderman Mitchelson, second.
Second.
Alderman Skoltedi, questions or comments? Roll call.
Jim Olive?
Yes.
Chris Skoltedi?
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson? Oh, he's not here. Doug Brown?
Yes.
Megan Bryant?
Yes.
Steve Dorchenez?
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll?
Yes.
Randy Mitchelson?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Per subparagraph G of 5 ILCS 120/2.06. This portion of the city council meeting is reserved for any person wishing to address the council on any relevant subject matters concerning the city. The Illinois Opens Meeting Act 5 ILCS 120/1FC mandates no action shall be taken on subject matters not listed on the agenda, but the council may direct staff to address the topic or refer the subject matter to a future council and or committee meeting. If anyone wishes to address the council, please provide your name and address, limit your comments or presentation to 3 minutes, and avoid repetitious comments. Thank you. Anyone like to address the council? Alderman Skoltedi?
You know, I'd like to clear up a few points here between the city council and small town Taylorville, especially from my side. I can only speak for myself. Never believed anything nefarious had ever happened. I think there's a massive amount of emotion that has come into play here. For me, this was all about tabling this tonight to give the small town Taylorville committee to come up with another way to move forward.
I think it's been a great addition to Taylorville. But I think there's things, oversight that need to take place more. I've talked with several members, talked with several people. And again, the communication stream has not been great. There's been a lot of crap flying out there that's untrue. But for me, it was all about a few things. I believe a city council member belongs on the board to have a little more oversight for us, and also some protection for that committee as well. So we're watching, we're seeing what's going on. And then we're also saying, if anybody tries to choose and say the committee has done something wrong, at least we have an elected official on that committee to say, no, we were there, we witnessed it, we believe that everything that takes place is true and what we say it is. Also, I think the reporting needs to be more detailed, instead of just advertising. Maybe that's some of them, maybe it's the clerk's office, I don't know. But sometimes it just says advertising. Advertising for what? For who? So I think we can correct that for sure. Also, again, we have to find a way to make sure that everybody in every facet is accounted for and are able to be marketed for. Just 3 simple things from my side. Don't believe it's anything that's ever happened to be anything wrong. There was some miscommunication at all sides that I believe that could have been better. If you've had a job anywhere at all, one of the normal complaints from everybody is communication always needs improved. It's always going to be there. But I think we've got a way forward. I mean, the city council can choose. I've even been willing to volunteer from the council side to be on the small town Taylorville, downtown Taylorville committee. That is completely and solely up to the city council if they want me to represent the city council in this matter. I don't own a business, don't have a dog in a fight. I won't benefit from it at all. But it does give us more oversight to be able to see what's going on, and it fully backs you guys. Again, I was never for the BDD. I don't think taxpayer dollars should be used to benefit somebody else's business. That's neither here nor there now. It's there. We might as well market for everybody and everybody as a whole. It doesn't matter if it's an insurance business, if it's a hardware store. I think we can develop, one of the things I thought about today is I think we can develop part of the website that maybe says Taylorville Careers, something to add to it. Because if you're in Taylorville, you're spending time in Taylorville, hell, you might want to move to Taylorville, you might need to look for a job to have someplace in Taylorville to move to. So I think it's something we can expand. It's, to me, the right way forward, and I hope we can all come to an agreement and keep this thing going in the right direction, but with a little more communication stream and a little more oversight to keep things going.
Anyone else like to speak?
I just wanted to make a comment. if I could.
Comment on Jessica?
Randy, I know that your letters you read, and it was very well thought out and such. But there is one thing that I just went back and looked at. You said that the Craigs had mentioned suing, and that was never mentioned. Actually, the direct quote was, I had contacted legal counsel and we were contemplating our options. That could be something as simple as cease and desist. So I just see that was not said that way. It was never on what I said.
Oh, Jesus.
So,
I'm out of here. You all enjoy yourselves. Here's my public comment. Disgusting. The small town Taylorville board, you're disgusting. Your accountant is disgusting. Wow.
That's a lovely woman.
That's a council.
Wow. Fantastic. Thank you for your comment. Sorry, I can't mention that. But you can see how all the motion is set there. There's a perfect example of very unprofessional behavior right there. On Facebook Anonymous, a post was made about all the wrongdoing we were doing. We made some professional comments on there, answering those questions, and she has a laughy face underneath one of our comments trying to show and answer those questions. That's the level of professionalism our city has. That's disgusting. Thank you.
First off, say John Millett, lifelong resident of Taylorville, disabled veteran, Marine Corps. I own 3 businesses on that square. I don't see any of you up there on a Saturday walking around during the farmer's market, but I see a lot of people from out of town walking around asking directions for food and this and that.
Yeah.
Where'd you hear about us at? Small town Taylorville.
Yeah.
$50,000 on the Facebook. I can tell you how much I spent on the lockout gyms advertising, and to hit that many businesses, I hit $25,000 in advertising last year, just on Facebook and Instagram. So 50,000 is a drop in the bucket if you want to get businesses to start actually succeeding around here and not be so poor that they're shutting the doors. 2014, I opened up Zone Nutrition down the street off the square. I instantly joined the Chamber of Commerce. We had a grand opening. They came there to take a picture. That woman there that just stormed out was the only one that showed up, half drunk from the night before, said, let's get this shit done, took a picture and walked out.
Keep the personal comments.
So, no, that's exactly what happened.
I understand.
So-
Let's just keep everything fair.
Yeah, you heard me.
All I heard was I showed up somewhere half drunk.
Zone
Generally, I
Nutrition.
either am or I'm
All
not.
right,
Zone
let's go.
Nutrition,
That's enough.
2014, when I opened up, had my grand opening, you
That's
shut up.
enough. John, that's enough. Yeah, you want to speak?
My name's Gail Lum. I don't own a business in town, but I am a lifelong resident of Taylorville. I spent my childhood up on the square, going to Montgomery Ward's, JCPenney's, Sears. There used to be something going on downtown all the time. Of course, when I was in high school, like everybody else that grew up in town, I was on the square. I belong to a little group called the 40 Mile an Hour Club. We're not an organized group or anything. It's just a bunch of car people get together. My brother called me 3-4 years ago during the winter from Florida and said, hey, you need to get a cruise together on the square. Our intention at that time was to bring life back to the square. It's expanded so much that you can go downtown and there are actually people on the square now, where we went several years where nobody was on the square. There weren't any businesses to go into anymore. Like you used to walk around the square and window shop. We've been doing the cruises now. This is our second full year. We're bringing in probably 150 cars minimum. So two people to a car, talking 300 people. Halloween, we handed out well over 500 bags of candy, 500 kids up on the square. I hate to see internal bickering back and forth destroy what the square is now becoming again. It's a place I can go up there and walk around with my grandkids and enjoy the square like we all used to enjoy the square. That's it.
I don't live here, so I don't have a dog in the fight, but I'm an old car nut. And I just want to add a few comments to what Gail said. 40 Mile an Hour group, we've done a lot for this community. She mentioned about the Halloween, we passed the candy out. I know I spent $100 out of my pocket for candy for the kids and loved every minute of it. We go up there, we dress up, we decorate our cars, we see the smiles on the kids' faces, the parents' faces. I dress up like Fred Flintstone, so I had a lot of fun. But just to let you know, some of the other things we've done, we're putting on, and we've put on in the past, car shows at a couple of the nursing homes in town. We've partnered with the veterans groups. Several of us participated in one of the fun runs they had around town when they were making, where they were raising money for the Veterans Memorial. We're scheduled to do a car show at the county fair. So we bring a lot to this community. And that's just something that I think you folks need to be aware of. We're not just there the first Friday of the month for 5 or 6 months. We're here on other days.
Mayor, I've talked to you personally about this, and my feeling is downtown Taylorville, small town Taylorville is great. I just don't think it should be funded with the BDD money. Last year you give them $94,000. To have that $94,000 come back to the city, that takes $9 million of retail sales. $9 million. And it costs the city $94,000. Now, they might do pretty well, but I don't think they have income of $9 million back to the city in retail sales. That, small town Taylorville needs to figure out their own funding, and BDD needs to be used for the infrastructure of the city. Like Randy said, the roads, the downtown area, that's where that money needs to be spent, not for advertising and stuff like that. The car cruise is great. I think it's a great thing, but I don't think taxpayers should fund it. The hotel motel tax, that's a good idea, but the BDD money should be not off limits.
Well, for the people that don't understand, Marcia Neal and downtown.org is funded by the hotel motel tax. She gets 3/5 of that. We think it's somewhere going to be around $27,000 to $28,000 this year. Marcia gets paid $900 a month, and I think I'm right, so if I'm wrong, let me know. Downtown.org is what puts on the car show with help from small town Taylorville. I'm not sure who pays for the outhouse there, but the trash cans are donated by Cleveland. So actually, the car cruise is hardly any cost at all to the city. Now again, I'm not sure who pays for Nolan's Plumbing, but that's the only expense that I see, except for maybe, you know, I know the car people have expenses with the candy they give away, but that's not funded by anybody. Now, downtown.org, the way I understand what the council is considering, will continue to be funded. But the question is, do we use taxpayer money to fund an advertising campaign for all of Taylorville? Whether it's been all of Taylorville in the past, I can't say. That's why it's been suggested by a member of small town Taylorville to have a council member on there. Used to be Larry Budd used to go to the meetings. I've been to a few meetings. You know, somebody from the chamber probably needs to be on that board also. I would suggest that. Maybe a couple more business owners. I don't know if the owners or the business owners themselves, maybe not the building owners, need to be on that committee. And maybe somebody that's not in the downtown area, again, should be on that board. I mean, Gary Estier has some board members. They're both on the square or just off the square and Springfield Road. So maybe we need more people in there. Again, it's up to the council where they're going to fund it. Now, last year they were budgeted for $94,000. I think at last count, I think they used about $74,000 of it, or 76. Don't quote me. We just got a bill for $7,000 from something, but it's way under budget for this year. They had told me in our meeting that it was the last bill that they thought we would get. So again, is 90 too high? Probably is. Is 40 or 50 the right number? Is 20 is not funded? That's what the council members are here to decide. And I suggest all of you call or come to the finance meeting where we'll discuss a lot of things. You know, this isn't really open for, you know, I want to hear your comments, but I think the finance committee, May 16th at 6 o'clock, and you'll all have a chance to speak at that meeting. So I think going forward, we're going to continue to fund downtown.org, which is Marcia's organization, and that comes from hotel motel tax that we get, we hope, from visitors. So again, that's the funding by that. The BDD, the way it was set up, Walmart is our biggest contributor to BDD. They contribute almost $500,000 a year to our BDD fund. We think that Walmart gets a lot of out-of-town people. So we're getting the tax, and a lot of town people go there too, I'm not saying they don't. But we get a lot of tax money from out-of-town visitors to fix our roads and our infrastructure, which they should pay their part. Again, not saying anything about small town Taylorville. I think it's a wonderful committee, and it's up to our council whether to fund them or not. So we will decide that. The May 16th is the finance meeting, and the full council will vote on that on May 20th. So I hope that answers some of your questions. My phone number is always out there. My cell phone number is 827-7166. Feel free to call me, and I will at least answer your questions and get back to you. They call along. Marcia?
Could I just say that I am not downtown Taylorville.
Right.
I work with a wonderful board.
Okay.
I am the only paid employee, but I just want to clear that up in case anybody, yeah.
But we give some funding to that from
Correct.
hotel.
Right.
All right? Thank you very much. Let's see.
You got another question back here?
Pardon? Sister Grace?
Yeah, I'd like to address the comments. First of all, thank you, Ms. Driscoll, for explaining that we didn't threaten to sue. That is accurate. We were consulting our legal options. And let me give you a little bit of the background story which forced us into this position. We've had a long, extensive career with the downtown organization. I've been at it since probably 2009 with the organization. We've tried to grow it. We've tried to build the community up, utilizing and bringing the business development district to the city initially. And the hotel motel tax was brought initially to the city. So we tried to correctly bring programs to our city to build our city up. That's always been our goal. That's always been the goal of our organization. That's been my personal goal since I came back here in 2006, to walk kind of in the shoes of your fathers. So at this point, you know, we were pushed. There was an anonymous letter that had been distributed. It came in February 16th, and it had been passed around. I don't know exactly where. It had been the topic of the bar talk at the West Side, and there was a considerable amount of backlash that had come in through our Fur Love organization. My wife Sherry, sitting next to me, put together the Fur Love organization about a year ago now. The sole purpose of that is to build up enough funds to rebuild the Christian County Animal Control, or actually add on a 2,400 square foot wing. We have the plan set drawn, we have bids going, and we would like to raise the funds to get that done. We've been accumulating the proceeds from Fur Love. It's sitting in a separate account. It's actually several separate accounts, so it's earning money, and that is sitting there accruing. Now, the startup capital for the Fur Love organization was questioned. That came from our pockets. It didn't come from anywhere else. She works daily down there for no money. It's all a volunteer organization. So this anonymous letter came out making several different accusations about us, the organization, whether it was set up correctly, asserting that we could potentially be skimming capital to build our own independent businesses, asserting that we had taken funds to rebuild this new building that we're working on downtown. All of this was false, 100%. Yet at a city council meeting, this was over 2 months, by the way. I was bannered at two different finance meetings over this. And after 2 months of this, a letter gets passed around. That letter gets passed around at a city council meeting, and I became aware of it. Now, at the point where it affects my company, my integrity, our integrity within this community, I needed to turn and stop it. And enough's enough. That's where I was coming from with the letter that I issued. It is not a threat to sue the city. I would never do that. There's no intention to sue the city. Nobody wins in that kind of situation. But I need that banter, that erroneous 100% false banter. I need it stopped. I'm a member of this community. We work hard for this community, and I put in a lot of volunteer hours. We have a great group of people that have grouped around us and gathered. Pardon me?
3 minutes is up.
Thank you, Bruce.
Like I said, you're welcome to come to our finance meeting on May 16th at 6 p.m. I'm sure that will be an agenda item, and we can talk all night long if you like.
Thank you, Bruce.
Well, Mayor, I run that committee, and we'll just be deciding how long people talk.
Not all night long.
No, that's certainly correct. And I would like to make a couple of comments regarding this letter that doesn't appear to be threatening to sue us. But what it does appear to is that let me find the look, I was just reading it. Why Megan Bryant feels the need to overtly try to destroy Fur Love, ourselves, and the Downtown Taylorville organization is beyond me. We question what is her motivation, who supplied her with this misinformation. Such as stated in this anonymous letter, there must be more to the background story which has put her in an attack position we pursued through discovery and depositions if necessary. We are demanding Megan Bryant be removed from the city council immediately as she is out of control and clearly has put the city in a liable position. Liable position. Clearly an attorney general complaint is warranted to her, apparently. I would say that you may not have said you're going to sue us. That's as close as you can get without saying it. And I'm sorry if you feel that way, but that's how I feel when I read this letter. And then asking, it's a ridiculous thing in the first place to tell the city council and the mayor to remove her. She's a duly elected public official, elected by her ward. She cannot be removed from her position for anything short of creating a felony, which is not, this does not rise to that. There is no way to ask, the only way she can leave the city council is she makes that decision. She has every right to ask questions. She has every right to seek out information, whether it be from a false information as part of it has turned out to be, or whether it be true. She can find that out. It was suggested in the last meeting that maybe we should have gone to the police, then to the state police, and had this investigated. This does not raise to the level of a criminal penalty. We're talking about a civil penalty and possibly defunding the programs. This does not raise to the level of criminal. So you say you're not threatening, I say you are threatening, and I guess we have our difference of opinion on that.
Yeah, ma'am in the middle.
My name's Jessica Kasurik, and I own a business, actually multiple businesses on the square here, as well as a business in downtown Springfield. So I have a lot of experience in committees and organizations like Small Town Taylorville on a much larger scale in Springfield. As a business owner here, I reap the benefits, if you will, of the things that Small Town Taylorville has done. And I can tell you when the events are happening, the amount of revenue that comes into businesses is near quadruple what an average weekend of a similar calendar, portion, weather, etc. generates. What I will also say is that I don't live in Taylorville. I have no say in voting anyone on the council, and I did not decide who was on a board. And my observation here tonight is that there's a lot of personal feelings attached to both sides of this ridiculousness, right? I think it should be very clear what the end goal, or what the goal in general of any organization in the community is. So if Small Town Taylorville has a very clear written goal, which is to bring revenue, bring people to Taylorville, I think that who funds that should have some type of connection to it or oversight in it. But I think that there are so many feelings happening right now that everyone's being very clouded by what the end goal is and who it's actually affecting. Because if Alderman Bryant is pleased with whatever happens and people have to step down here and people are upset here, none of it really affects those people. It affects the businesses who are on Taylorville Square or throughout the community.
Yes.
Now, as far as not some people being represented, some people not being represented, the way that you can submit for your thing to be advertised is by contributing to the Facebook post that asks what specials do people have going on or what events do you have going on. And perhaps there could be some ways to expand that reach to make sure that everyone can be represented in that. I think that there's always room to grow and expand the things that we can offer, but I think it's really important to think about the people that this will affect. There are businesses on the square that I don't think will make it if this organization is not a fit. I'm in a fortunate position that I don't think that's my business, but there are a lot of businesses that bring in very, I'm going to say, smaller amounts of revenue, and they depend on organizations like Small Town Taylorville to keep them open and to help them create that business. I, as a business owner in Springfield, can tell you that what Small Town Taylorville has done for Taylorville is talked about not just in Taylorville, in multiple communities around, figuring out how have they done it, how have they created it, how have they filled vacant buildings. It is discussed regularly at downtown Springfield meetings. So I just think it's something to consider.
Anyone else? like to speak?
I second everything she said.
State your name, please.
My name is Mr. Walters. I'm sorry. I own Macy's Burger Joint here at the Square. I opened on 2020. Hard times we have, and then during that time, a lot of business closed that year. I just wanna kind of say thank you to the community, basically, and to those groups who are helping the businesses. We got to see it a lot because a lot of small businesses are opening more. Thank you for the car shows, Chile Fest, Journey of July is coming, we have seen increases, like you guys say, on our sales. I'm Mexican, I have my family is from Taylorville, so I have to, I'm from Taylorville now. It will be sad to have shut that down. I mean, I agree with Chris, with everything that he said. We probably needs to be organized a little bit, but I mean, it's not to shut it. I mean, I think it's working. Small businesses are opening right now, and I think that means something, and people are talking. I mean, we see it on Facebook. I mean, a lot of from around Taylorville cities, Springfield, we have Caden, we got Missouri, excuse me. I mean, they're talking about, they were talking about the car show. A lot of people from that group come to our restaurant, and I mean, they eat, a lot of people from other towns. I mean, we need this, basically. Everybody knows business are gonna close. Thank you.
Anyone else? Ma'am in the back?
Jessica Franks, and so first I just want to comment just as an individual. Like, we have not lived in this community for very long. We've been here about 6 years, and I know and see the things, more and more events and the things that are promoted. There being a central area where you can go to look and see what's going on. It gets our family out, and we get to do lots more things. And I love everything about that. But I will say, as the new director of Taylorville Parks, that the things that we're facing with our park and all of the things we've been going through, the people that have been supporting us through this has been small town Taylorville. We just had the grand opening for the dog park, and Mayor Berry was there to speak. But the people that came there to work was a group from Burla. They were there from the beginning. They were the last people to get in the car and leave. When they're going through all of this and being attacked and all that, they still get in the car, they come and they show up because they care about the community. And to have people like this be treated this way, it's very, I don't know, it affects me a lot, because we need people like this that are going to stand up for our community and support things no matter what they're even going through.
Thank you. As I said, I invite everyone to come to the finance meeting on May 16th, and that I would like to see a motion to go into closed session to discuss the following subject matters. A motion to go into closed session pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C11 to discuss the salary schedule for the police chief and deputy chief positions, and to include the following persons being present during all or part of such closed session. Names of the mayor, alderman, city clerk, city treasurer, city attorney, chief, fire chief, and any other person. During the city council meeting and or go into closed session.
Hey, there you go. Hope you get a raise. We need it. Lee, see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for coming.
come back.
Hey, Timmy.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, you bet.
See you, Lee. Say hi.
See you, Mike.